Last night I saw perhaps the most powerful piece of filmmaking I think I've ever seen. It was a documentary so brave, so stark and so sad, it will change attitudes for sure. It's called The Cove, and it's about dolphins.
These dolphins are symbolic of a new day for the environment. It's all about respect now, not exploitation.
We've lost that somewhere, that respect. I feel somewhat responsible because it was the Flipper TV series that created this multi-billion-dollar industry. It created this desire to swim with them and kiss them and hold them and hug them and love them to death. And it created all these captures.
They call him Flipper, Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he.
It was the hit of the 60s, the TV show Flipper. It made us all fall in love with dolphins. And today the very sight of a dolphin in the waves evokes all kinds of feelings, doesn't it? Freedom, virtue, out and out good intent, really. Well, joining me in the studio now is a fellow called Rick O'Barry, and we have him to thank for our love of dolphins. He was the guy who trained the dolphins to do the tricks that were so endearing and that spawned a whole industry of sea worlds, marine worlds, flipper worlds around the globe, committing dolphins to a lifelong sentence of enslavement and humiliation, really, all in the name of our entertainment. As you heard in that clip from the movie, these days Rick feels sickeningly guilty about that, and he's spent decades since dedicated to freeing dolphins. That mission has seen him arrested all over the world, thrown into jail, banned from conferences and all other places. It's also seen him expose the most horrendous and senseless massacre of dolphins, an annual slaughter of 23,000 dolphins that takes place for several months every year in a tiny cove near a town called Taiji in Japan. The movie The Cove tells that story, and Rick O'Barry, welcome to breakfast.
Well, thank you so much. I love Australia.
That's great. Well, Rick, we love dolphins, and that's thanks to you. You love them so much, you made us love them. Now, you say in the movie we're loving them to death. That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. There's, Flipper did create this multi-billion-dollar industry, and the captures continue. Largest captures going on right now in 17 days from now, September 1st in Taiji, and I will be there on the ground, hoping to stop it.
Tell us about this, because the movie called The Cove, it's a hell of a movie. It's a drama, it's a mystery, it's a murder, it's an environmental doco all rolled into one. What is going on at The Cove?
That's first of all, it's a very, very beautiful town called Taiji, and the reason I'm here is because Taiji has a sister city called Broome. And so we've started this Twisted Sister campaign, trying to get the town of Broome to get involved and help us stop this dolphin slaughter. It is the largest slaughter of dolphins in the world. And I'm reluctant to use these terms on the radio because the movie is not about that. The movie is actually very entertaining, and people should see it.
It's a tremendous movie.
Yeah, it is highly entertaining, and that's why it's won all of these awards and why it gets a standing ovation every place it's played. So, yeah, you see at the very end some reference to the dolphin slaughter, but it's the captures which sustain the slaughter. The captures of the dolphins is the economic underpinning. You see that in the beginning. And these dolphins are being captured for dolphin swim programs in different parts of the world. A lot of Westerners involved. And so...
And they're being captured to send off to SeaWorlds. I mean, these dolphins that they capture, the bottlenose dolphin, I think they're called.
Exactly.
They're the ones that we came to love in Flipper. They fetch a really high price at SeaWorlds around or other sorts of those kind of places around the globe, don't they?
As much as $200,000. That's what they got for the ones in Dubai. The last group left Taiji, went to Ocean World in the Dominican Republic, $154,000 each. Normally, the fishermen would get $300 or $400 for a dead dolphin. So you can see that the captures are really keeping this thing going. Yeah. But the reason I arrived in Australia today from Miami, Florida, it's been a long, long flight, is I have come to believe that Broome, Australia, holds the key to stopping this. Broome has a lot of power. They just don't realize it yet. We're going to show this movie in Broome tomorrow to the community, to the mayor, to the opposition party, to the voters, and hopefully get them involved because they could create a tipping point and stop this. And wouldn't that be great for Broome? Wouldn't that be great for Australia?
So you want Broome, in a sense, to be so moved by this, they rise up, they declare we're stopping being sister city, and they basically become a face of a public campaign that is then backed by this movie.
Something like that. Yeah, it's a little complicated in that, and most stories are, it's not that black and white. First, let me tell you that Taiji is a very beautiful place, physically beautiful. People are very sweet. There's a very small minority of people doing this in Broome, in Taiji. It's not the whole town. And so, yeah, we're going to ask the town of Taiji, Broome, to suspend that relationship until they stop this insanity.
There it is, the town of Taiji. A little town with a really big secret. It's funny driving into Taiji. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone. It's so bizarre because if you didn't know what's going on over here, you would think this is a town that loves dolphins and whales. On our left here is the infamous Taiji Whale Museum. And I really, really hate this place.
The point in the film, and I won't sort of give it all away, but it is chilling. There's a lot of intrigue here. There's a small group of fishermen who, basically tag your team, try and stop you filming what you've eventually filmed and capture so chillingly on film. At one point you think, is this guy paranoid? But then you realise they really are muscling up to you guys and trying to stop this. The fact is, the rest of Japan doesn't know this is going on. No one much knows this is going on, but now everyone will.
Yeah, and there are people who live around Taiji who don't know. Right next door, I live in Kikatsura and Shingu and places like that. I sleep up in the mountains, and I can't actually spend... when I go into Taiji, I go 3 o'clock in the morning in disguise, and they told me they would kill me if they could catch me. And the only reason they haven't killed me so far is it would draw a lot of attention to the town, and that's what they don't want.
And you saying that, you're not being a tad paranoid. I mean, this is...
Oh, no, they told me that. I mean, I have it documented. It is. We catch you, we'll kill you. They kill every day. I mean, these guys kill every day. They've been doing it for a long, long time. So I believe them, yeah.
Now we're approaching the area that's most important.
That's a dolphin's worst nightmare, right there.
Hundreds of thousands of dolphins have died there.
You'll see the signs, keep out, danger.
There are fishermen walking around these hills with knives.
This is a national park. The fishermen told me, they said if the world finds out what goes on here, we'll be shut down. Can you imagine that? They actually told us that.
There's an enormous number of messages in this movie. There's also pretty strong condemnation made of the International Whaling Commission, the IWC, and a former Environment Minister from Australia, Ian Campbell, plays a role in that. He's very, very critical of the IWC. There's also the story about dolphin meat and the high levels of mercury and what that has been doing to school children in Japan. There's enormous implications from this film.
Lots of Australians in this film.
Lots of Australians.
Ian Campbell is somebody that Australia can be very, very proud of.